I'm not happy. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Dan from DHTV, and this is my review on the Apple Watch. Now, I've had a whole bunch of notes. I was going to go through specifications and things like that, but I'm pretty disappointed with this. And I'm going to kind of just sort of rant and give you guys a real world practical use and experience with this because personally, I thought I'd get a lot more for this. And this is the stainless steel 42 millimeter band with the sports band. Now, I paid almost $800 here in Canada for this, and I always say, like, when I'm disappointed with something, I would have not purchased this if I wasn't doing a review or wasn't using it for videos, because that's what I do on this channel. But even though I'm using this Apple Watch for videos, I don't think I would have purchased it had I known it was going to be this weak in terms of a device. Now, the reason I say this is because a lot of the time when I'm using this watch, for example, at the gym, a big feature with this watch was the workouts and the ability to track your fitness and things like that. It does a decent job in terms of tracking the basics like walking, cycling, little things like that. But if you go to the gym and you actually do a weight training workout, there's just a section on the Apple Watch that says Other, and it tracks it as if you're doing a brisk walk. So that doesn't really do much for me. And also, with that being said, the heart rate monitor was huge with this. They advertised it, they show it, everybody was saying how good and accurate it is. But as soon as you start working out and you get sweat on your wrist or anything, this thing starts tracking the heart rate like ridiculous. I had it tracking my heart rate after doing a full set of chest press, about 12 reps. I was pretty tired. I felt my heart beating pretty quickly, and it said I was beating at 55 beats per minute. So I would try to track it again, and it would just sit and it would just hang on the heart rate monitor logo, and nothing would actually be happening. I took the watch off, dried off my wrist, dried off the watch, put it back on, tracked it again, and by that time it's showing my heart rate at 90. So what I did was I downloaded the heart rate monitor app on my iPhone here, and basically what you do is you put your thumb over the light and the flash of your phone to get your heart rate. I was able to get my heart rate quicker and closer to that 120 after doing a set with this than I was with the Apple Watch. And I'm not sure if that's just because it needs to be super tight on your wrist. It does recommend that it's tight, but I have it at a tight setting in terms of the fitting, and I did even close my hand over it just a bit to keep any of the light from escaping from the sides here. So I'm not sure, but it does track the heart rate fine when it's just at a sitting or at a normal level. But as soon as you start doing like strenuous activity, it seems to have a hard time tracking it accurately regularly. So it does get it here and there, but it missed it quite a few times, and it was getting pretty annoying with being at the gym and trying to see my statistics in that sense. Now, before I get the questions about why didn't you purchase the Apple Sport Band then, or the Apple Watch Sport, the reason was I couldn't get that at the time. I tried to pre-order it, and I tried to get online quick as possible. The Sport Watches were gone right away. This was the only thing I could use or purchase, and like I said, I purchased these things for review purposes as well as videos, and had I known it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have purchased this one or any of the Apple Watch brands at this point. I would have probably waited till next year, because now that they've announced a lot of features that are coming, it's kind of more interesting, and it feels like it's going to be what this watch should have been in the first place. But for me, being a consumer as well as a reviewer, and for all of you, for example, who are looking at this and thinking it's really cool, it is, but it's a gimmick. It's very gimmicky right now. And with lots of things coming out, like being able to put your security alarm on at your house while you're out, or unlock your doors, turn your lights on and off, and control all your home things, that's where this is going to come into play in a very good way later on. Moving back to the Apple Watch though, and what it can do now, we'll talk about the watch faces, because this is what you see. This is where your basic information is right away when you turn your watch over. As soon as you turn it over this way, this is one feature actually I really like. If you turn the watch, and a lot of people said it didn't work, but this is one feature that worked really well. You have the watch, you turn it, it always turns on. I don't know why people said that it wasn't, because I've never had an issue. It just always comes on when you flick your wrist. So that's a cool feature. I really like that, and they did a great job with that. But first thing you're going to see is the watch face. So although you have a lot of watch faces pre-installed and you can customize them with colors and a couple of different features and what information you see, like your calendar events, the weather, different things like that, I like that. That's all good. But I thought, okay, they have the Mickey Mouse watch face, which is really awesome. But why are third-party developers not able to create these watch faces or custom watch faces for themselves right now and then have them available for us to download and use. And maybe that's due to not having a native app store for the Apple Watch yet that you can download native Apple Watch apps. I'm not sure, but why not? Because I would like to have, say, an Iron Man face on my watch instead of the Mickey Mouse because it looks cool like that. And I don't mind that at all, but it's something that I found a little bit annoying because let's say you don't like any of these. Like this one here is what I'm using, and I use this one because it takes up the least amount of battery. Now, some people say they get between 1 day and 2 days. I'm more towards the 1 day of battery life with the Apple Watch here. So I use this watch face mainly because it has less colors in it. Less colors, less battery, less movement. So that Mickey Mouse watch face, although it looks the nicest, is going to burn the most batteries. So it's not that good in terms of battery life. And they didn't mention a lot of that when they did come out with the Apple Watch. They didn't talk too much about how the battery life was, which was a red flag in my mind because that just means, okay, they know the battery life is going to be crazy and they don't want everybody to start, focusing on that. It's going to last you a day and you got to plug it up to the charger. Now, with that being said, the charger is pretty awesome because it uses a magnet to charge the watch, and I like that better than having to clip in a lightning port or a USB port or something like that. You can actually add monograms to your Apple Watch to customize the face, so you can sort of put in like a quick little saying or a word or something. So I put in DHTV and I showed that in one of my videos, and I thought it was kind of interesting. But what's stupid is that you can only do this on one kind of watch face, and it's got to be the colored watch face, which isn't very eye-catching or appealing in my mind. And I think that if they just offered this, it's on the Apple Watch app on the phone to enter in a monogram. Why can't we use this on any of the watch faces? Like, always have a section. For example, you can click to show your calendar event, your stopwatch, or the weather. Why can't we click to show our monogram? So I don't know about that. It's just something I thought was a little bit stupid because you're offering something here that gives personal customization and then you're only offering it on one watch face, and I don't think a lot of people really use that watch face. At this point, I don't see that this watch, with what it can do and what it can't do, is worth the money you have to pay. If you really want to buy it, go for the lower end model. All the models can do the same thing. There's no performance differences between the Apple Watch Sport all the way up to Apple Watch Edition. So you're pretty much getting the same internals and the same performance. Keep that in mind. Now, for what it does, I do appreciate some of the features. I like that you can control your camera on your iPhone with the watch, so you can sort of see the camera on your screen here while the phone is maybe somewhere else. So if you wanted to take a shot from a distance, that's cool. But again, it's not very practical. Most of the time, we're not going to need that feature. Again, messages coming in. Cool, you can see your messages. But 90% of the time, 99% of the time, we have our phones on us and are able to access them. So we can grab our phone, there's our message. Again, sending messages, you can send it with the Apple Watch. Awesome. But you have to send them in either Siri by talking or by using the quick messages. Again, I could pick up my phone quickly and type, and I find that I would do that 99% of the time anyway. Calls. Yes, you can make calls. Cool. Great feature, but not as good as using your phone. And I feel like if you're going to make a call, why are you going to walk around talking on your watch kind of being like this? Especially if you're outside or in an area that's not very quiet, it's going to be extremely hard for you to hear this. Another feature, maps. It has maps on it. That's pretty awesome, except it's not very practical. You can barely see anything on this small screen. So having your map, especially if you're trying to figure out where to go and you're trying to look at it and everything, is probably not safe in the car. Yes, it does talk to you and it does beep and things like that, so that's a good feature. So that's a 50-50 on my part. But again, you're only going to be able to use Apple Maps on this, and I don't like Apple Maps. I find that it doesn't really work too well, and it always sends me to places that I'm not really looking to go. And it takes me on some weird routes sometimes. So I wouldn't trust that anyway. I would still pull out my phone, Google Maps, have the phone on the little stand in my car, and I'm fine. The way it looks, really nice look. No matter which watch you get or which design you get, you can customize it so much with bands and colors. I think you're not going to be unhappy with the look. The look is probably the best feature, and the digital crown is pretty awesome. I love how the digital crown works with everything. I don't know if it's bringing me back to the old BlackBerry days, but it kind of just feels good. Also, Force Touch, which is coming to a lot of Apple devices. That's pretty cool that it's involved with the Apple Watch. So if you press hard or a little bit harder on the watch, it does something different. You'll be able to see like a feature that's built in the back or clear all your notifications, things like that. Those are actually good. Seeing notifications is probably the best thing again with this. So if you do receive a notification on Twitter or Facebook or something and it pops up on your watch, it's cool that you can see it, but again, responding to it or acting on that notification is pretty pointless or useless at times. And again, the lag at times is pretty bad. So with that being said, I would say don't buy the Apple Watch right now. Wait for them to improve it. Hopefully they bring the price down. I almost guarantee they won't. If anything, it'll go up. And if you're really looking to purchase one of these, go with the sport model, the cheapest you can find. And even if you were going to go with the 38mm band, unless you really want the bigger screen size. Now, the only other difference, if you were going to go upgrading to the stainless steel version of the Apple Watch, you're going to get a better screen. So it's like a sapphire screen, and that's a little bit more resistant than the regular screen on the Sport Edition. Other than that, you're pretty much getting the same materials other than the stainless, but that's obvious because that's the stainless version. So keep that in mind as well. Now, I don't know what you should do. This is what I feel, and if I could trade or take back what I've done, I'd return this. I would straight up return this if they would take it. But I'm stuck with it, so I'm going to continue the Apple Watch series. I'm going to stick it out, and I'm going to try to get you guys the best and coolest information and features that this watch has to offer down the road. So if you're interested in the Apple Watch, leave your comments in the comment box down below. I don't care if you guys want to yell at me or hate on me because I'm kind of bashing Apple's first try at the Apple Watch. But that is it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave your comments in the comment box down below. And as I said, if you'd like to watch more videos on the Apple Watch, there's a link in the description. Also, iPhone videos, tech videos, all kinds of videos like that on the channel, as well as fitness band videos. I have another one coming up soon, and that's something that seems to be something that you guys like. So stay tuned for that. Hit that like button, share this with your friends, and I hope to see you in the next one.